Oh.
So explain this.
When healthy, one of the all-time great talents.
What is that? So what does all-time great mean to you?
Talents.
Okay.
All-time great talents.
Okay. Does that mean he's a top 50 player ever? Because if so, that's nuts.
Talents. That's the key word.
Well, what does that mean? Drazen Petrovic would have been a great talent, but he died.
Jeff. I didn't put when healthy one of the all-time greats. If I put a period,
but Smitty, the truth of the matter is, when healthy, Derrick Rose is not a top 100 player of all time. Not even close. He's not even a top 50 player in the NBA.
When healthy, I think you're bullshitting. He's the youngest MVP in NBA history. The explosiveness, the athleticism. He was the leader of that Bulls.
But here's
the Bulls ain't been. That was the first time the Bulls have been relevant since Jordan.
But let me ask you, this is where I get off the boat with some people, because I made a comment like a few months ago. LaShawn McCoy had a really good season or two, similar to Derrick Rose. And you were the same person that, oh, he wasn't Adrian Peterson that year. 1 or 2 seasons is not but 1 or 2 seasons is not an indicative of career. Derrick Rose was a nice player, but when it's all said and done, 20 years from now, he's just another guy.
He got injured 100%. I'm understanding that.
Smitty, there are a lot of guys that if they got injured, there's probably a lot of great players that never made the NBA. But
we don't know those motherfuckers though, Jeff. So we're not talking about. We're talking about Derrick Rose, who we know, who's an MVP, a guy who had a great Bulls team, which he was a leader on, and that was the last time the Chicago Bulls was even relevant. Is when he was on that team. All I literally said was he's an all-time great talent. I didn't say when healthy he was an all-time great. That's the difference. The word talent.
I guess what I'm trying to ask.
For example, Justin Herbert right now is one of the best quarterback talents in the NFL. Is he one of the best quarterbacks? No, because he hasn't shown that yet. But talent-wise, he has all the ingredients and makeup, and he's shown flashes to me to be there. The difference between Derrick Rose, though, we actually saw him be elite. We saw him be an MVP in the same league during the same time LeBron James was in the league. Kobe Bean Bryant was still balling in the league.
Yeah, no, I get.
He was the most.
I get you. But what I'm trying to understand is, what does all-time great mean? Like, does that mean he's a top 100 player? Because if so, he's not.
He was a player that we've never really seen before. The skill set.
Isn't that the idea of, like, Coach made a point one time that if you don't play, that's as bad as whatever. Like, we don't know.
Availability. We always say that.
Yeah, I think it's a bust. If you
don't play, look at Russell Westbrook. Would you say Russell Westbrook is an all-time great? You have to.
I think from a standpoint of, like, if you take away like winning on stuff, absolutely. I've always liked him. I think he's a 3-tool player. He does everything.
MVP, numbers crazy, average triple-double, all that stuff, right?
Right.
So I look at Westbrook and I think he's the best comp just in recent history. I think if we saw Westbrook's trajectory, I think at bare minimum. Now, I think Derrick Rose would have been better, and I love Westbrook. But I think Derrick Rose had more tools to his belt. I think he was a better natural shooter, jump shooter, could do a little bit more. But I think at bare minimum, we see that type of trajectory. We would have saw that with Derrick Rose. That's just my opinion. Obviously, we never know.
No, sure. I just don't think a few seasons. I've made this comparison before, and I always go back to it. If Drazen Petrovic didn't die in a car accident, he would have been the greatest shooter of all time. That's what we were seeing. That was his trajectory. Right? We didn't because he died, right? I just don't think we can assume he would have been great if he wasn't injured. To me, again, when I think back over the last 10 years, was he a good player? Yeah. But I think over the last 10 years, if you put him in the top 50, you're crazy. Did he have 1 or 2 good years? Yeah. He was the MVP for 1 year. I guess I was just trying to add some context. I wasn't this whole blowing it up, it wasn't that big a thing. I was just curious what you thought.
I didn't know what I said. I said, because Jeff hit me up last night with a text. I said, what the hell? I said, maybe I know we talked shit on this show. I said, maybe I said something crazy about Jeff.
Here's one where I will say one thing on that other subject that just happened. I will say one thing. He's not wrong when he talks about some of these fuckers in the chat. He's not wrong. Some of you motherfuckers don't know. I mean, you just pick at people, but and I get where he's coming from there. That's
true, but y'all gotta do a better job, in my opinion. Because listen, I'm not perfect. Sometimes I go to people to chat. We know. Coach JB has as well, but I think me and JB have gotten way better. Stop taking this chat so fucking serious.
Oh, I don't.
Because people, they know Jeff. You're gonna get mad.
No, but Smitty,
listen, purposely gonna say something to get you going.
I've been doing this since 2009.
Yeah.
None of these motherfuckers would say shit to me. They wouldn't. Because no one does. It's not that serious to anybody, right?
Right.
No one's going to come up to you like, fuck you, bowl cut.
Hey, remember though, we built this on the realest show. We're always going to holler at the regular folks. We're the random, random.
Yeah. Of course, no, I'm not saying ignore. Like, we have fun. I'm just saying, don't let it get to you, JB, to a point where you really like fucked up and like, oh my.
If it gets to me, that means I can't sleep on my yacht at night. I don't think it gets to me.
And by the way, TPB, you're right. I don't know sports. I don't think there's any. I don't give a fuck about sports. I pick games and I'm better than you at it. So that's all we need to know.
Hey, by the way, the nobodies that talk on Twitter and social media and the ones that aren't members here, they are nobodies for a reason. So I love to give the nobodies who go home and have to jack off each other and fucking. I love to give them some optimistic, futuristic ideologies, like Smitty loves to say. I love them to go home and have some optimistic futures about themselves. They all shouldn't just go and absolutely off themselves like they should. No, they're nobodies. Let's dive